Hi, this is Yolanda Van Veen from Van Veen Bulbs. And next we're going to talk about how to grow cactus. Cactus or cacti, if you have more than one plant, grow naturally in the desert. They're found all over the planet, but usually in areas with very little rainfall. Well, if you live in the Northwest like I do, we can still grow them without living in the desert. They do really well in our climate as well. So the trick with cacti is to make sure to only put them outside over the summer if you live in a cold climate, and make sure and grow them inside in the winter if you get below maybe 50 degrees at night, because they really don't want to freeze. If they freeze, you will lose them. So they're very easy to grow. I just put them out on my deck, and they love the hot sun, and they like to dry out in between. And so whenever the nights get below 50, I bring them back inside. And they seem to do really well that way. So there's so many different ways that you can grow them. The key with cactus is to not water them too much. And this is just one in a little bowl, and it seems to really like it. It gets lots of moisture that stays in there. And it looks neat there too. So there's a lot of different creative ways that you can grow them. And I water this maybe once a month. Very, very little do I water it. This small cactus I really like. It's a kind of euphorbia, which isn't considered a true cactus, but it's so beautiful, and it'll just keep growing and growing. And I started with a little one like this about 10 years ago, and the little one now has to be transplanted because it's gotten this big. I just love it. It's just grown and grown and grown. And as you can see, I'm using gloves when I play with them because they're very sharp. And I can't tell you how hard it is to get the little cactus little pricks back out of your skin, because it's really hard. And they come in all different shapes and sizes. And this particular cactus I like too. It's very sharp, so you got to be so careful. And I overwatered it, so the mother plant actually started dying on me. It just turned to mush. So I just broke off the top parts of the cactus that still look good, and then put them back down in the dirt, and they're living. Even when you think you killed them, half the time you can still take parts that are still alive and put them back down into dirt, and they'll grow again. That's why I love them so much. So I found too, if they get too big or they start falling over, you can give them a little bit of a haircut too. And these are so sharp, you got to be so careful. But like on this one, when you break it, it actually makes kind of it gets really gooey, like Elmer's glue. So the real danger that you have with cactus is watering them too much. So when in doubt, don't water. That's been my rule of thumb. And I only water them maybe once a month, if that. And in the wintertime, maybe only once every 2 months. And I kind of look at them or put my finger into the dirt, and you can kind of see if they're wet enough or not. You don't want them to be really wet. You want them to be a little bit on the dry side so that they'll do really well. And even if they do die, I try not to take it personally, because you can always get a new start off of another one, and they're so easy to grow.